So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about preparing for jackpot shows. So right now in Texas, a lot of kids and families are taking their calves out for their first show. We're starting to kick off a lot of these summer jackpot shows. And one big thing that, you know, when you go to your first show, or the calf goes to its first show, there's a lot of new sounds, new people, a new environment, and a lot of times they don't act super great. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about a few things that we do leading up to those shows to help eliminate some of the stress on the calf and make him have a better experience. But first, I just wanted to mention we're going to start answering some more questions within some of these videos, and to help kind of collect these a little bit, whether you're watching another video we've done or it's on Instagram or another social media platform, if you want to use the hashtag AskJGCattle, we're going to compile some of these questions and start answering them throughout some of these videos. So keep that in mind. You can ask during a video and we'll try to answer some of these questions as we go, but we're going to start doing that in the future. So on this, preparing them for, you know, some of these jackpot shows, what we like to do is, you know, a lot of times their natural habitat out there at night, we're feeding them in a feed bunk, they're eating out, they're drinking out of a water trough. So we like to bring them in about a week, 10 days before a show, and we like to start feeding them out of a feed pan, which is what we're going to use at a show. We like to use a water bucket and water them out of that. And what that does is, obviously, we've got to feed them and water them out of a feed pan and water bucket when we go to a show, but they also have to learn to eat tied up. A lot of times cattle, the first time we brought this one in and tied him up, he ate nothing. And this is about the third night we've done it, and you can see he's starting to eat really well. And we want that first experience to be at home if he doesn't look super full. That way when we get to the show, he's kind of already knows that how to eat out of a feed pan, how to drink out of a water bucket. That's one thing that's not new to him when he gets to the show. The other thing we like to do is we like to start practicing with the halter, their show halter at home. A lot of times this show halter will make kind of some noises and stuff, and if they can get used to that noise, a show halter feels a lot different on that calf than it does, than a show halter feels different than just a regular rope halter. It tightens down in different spots, so we like to get them where they feel comfortable with that before we ever go to a show. The other thing we'll do is we'll actually kind of wrap this with vet wrap. We have halters that have a sleeve on it, but this will make it where it makes less noise and it feels a little softer underneath their chin and stuff. So we will wrap those every once in a while, but we like to use that at home, get them used to it. The other thing that we'll do at a show once we get to the show is, if we have the opportunity, we like to get them in the ring the night before, get them up to the ring, let them see all that new stuff, practice setting them up in there, lead them around, exercise them. And for sure on show day, a lot of times, especially that first show, we'll take them up to the ring 20, 30 minutes, 5, 6 classes before their class goes in. The reason we like to do that is in the makeup ready area, there's a lot of different noises, there's a lot of commotion, there's people running around, there's kids, there's other cattle. In the first 10, 15 minutes that calf's up there, they get a little worked up, they're swinging back and forth, they don't know what's going on, and eventually they kind of wear themselves down, and they're going to act a lot better in that ring. And a lot of times if we've got one that's not acting super great, even once we get out of the show ring, we'll take them back up to the ring and let them see that till they just really start wearing down and they just feel comfortable. A lot of times when you get to a show, they're seeing all that at once, and if you run right up to the ring and try to run right into your class, that calf's just worked up the whole time he's in the ring. So that's another thing we really like to do. But the more you can do at home to get that calf comfortable with all the new stuff they're going to see at a show, the better off you're going to be. So again, those are just some tips going into these summer jackpot shows. If you want to use if you want to ask some of those questions, feel free to use that hashtag AskJGCattle. That's just going to help us organize some of those questions a little bit. If you use that hashtag, you got a better chance of getting some of those questions answered as well. Again, this is all about y'all, and we just want to answer those questions you have out there, so feel free. That's why we're here. We love doing this, and we love answering these questions.